Something strange is going on with the San Diego Padres. We got to talk about it and why I think there might be the showings of the signs of a little bit of a rift between management and the front office, or maybe the Padres just don't know what to do with the total amount of talent that they finally have on this roster. Let's talk about it on another episode of Padres Digest. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. I'm Christian Pedersen, one of the two hosts here on just another random internet show that talks about the San Diego Padres. But as we go along, we always love to have you comment on anything this video or other stuff related that you want to have us talk about, make videos about, drop a comment. If you want to hit the subscribe button, like I always say, it's much appreciated. But if not, no worries. Ryan O'Hearn, let's talk about him. He's a new Padre, came over in the Baltimore Orioles deal. I've talked a fair amount about Ramon Laureano. I'm in love with everything that he's doing. And you could maybe say that Laureano was a big part of the deal because he fixed the left field issue more solidly, because there was nobody else than O'Hearn coming in because he's a first baseman, Arraez is a first baseman. But I would still argue that like those guys were 1A, 1B. It was not Ramon Laureano and then O'Hearn was a throw-in last minute of the deal. These guys are two good players. But in terms of coming out here, Laureano stuck right in, plugged right in. Ryan O'Hearn has not seen a huge amount of playing time with the San Diego Padres, and yet when he has played rather well. So this headline caught my attention because I've kind of felt like this a little bit. Mike Shildt and a reporter got the most mildly of into it. This is not a clubhouse brawl. No insults were thrown, but a general disagreement of a question and talking about getting O'Hearn more playing time. For those of you who maybe are not live and die by, you don't spend your entire life diving into the sabermetrics of it all, here's the season that he is having. 275, 15, and 50 on the season, both with Baltimore and San Diego. Like I said, the majority of that coming with Baltimore because he has not gotten a lot of playing time, hence what we're talking about. But what he has done with the Padres has been fantastic. He has had a couple of real clutch moments. He's had like the vibes check and the stats check to me. So I'm pulling up these numbers, like these the pre-deadline Padres, with all of our complaining that we were doing about the lack of offense and really having like true holes in it. If I said we've got this waiting on the bench, you'd be like, why aren't we playing this? I get that we added some other pieces, and some of you are probably going to say that you got to leave Arraez plugged in. You know what you got with Shildt, so you got to do that. And you're basically the gist of what Mike Shildt gets into later in there is this of where would you have started him is the quote he goes to. And that's not wrong. Like there are great to take him in, to put him in the lineup, you have to take somebody out who is hitting well this year. But I kind of feel like you don't acquire a new piece like Ryan O'Hearn without necessarily making it about like we have a plan to want to put him in. I'll bring this second quote. There's a little bit more text, so my apologies. I am constantly trying to adapt here and get better for you, those of you who consume this on phones. He later in this back and forth, Ryan's done a nice job. He's a great option off the bench. It was always going to be flexible. It was going to be relative to the total picture of who we have on the club that day. Like every day, it's always a question of who's going to give us the best opportunity to go compete. O'Hearn did pinch hit during the game in the seventh inning, hitting a 2-run homer that put the Padres back in the game. Like I said, when he has played well. And Shildt is talking about the who's ready right now because Merrill is having a little ankle thing, and we've got videos on that. And that's why I say hit the subscribe button, because we more content that you necessarily wouldn't even think to look for coming from the two of us during the season. But baseball going to baseball, there's going to be ebbs and flows of availability for guys. So he's like, I get where he's saying, like, Ryan's our nice option off the bench. But I feel like I said, you don't acquire a piece like O'Hearn unless your plan is to play him. Why don't you give him a shot right out the gate? Just here's a solid chunk of games. See what you can do. Let's then regress him back to the bench. Or if he only takes, I don't know, what's a number caps are always sometimes so arbitrary of like, if he only takes 45 at-bats as a Padre, and we exercise Ramon Laureano's deal and we lose O'Hearn to free agency, will that trade have been worth it? And that might be prisoner of the moment stuff that we can always debate, but we can never answer because it's going to take years. And you wouldn't for sure ever know if somebody was going to pan out or not in a certain system and setting. But you can take a general gist of it of being like, okay, if we don't, like, is the juice worth the squeeze for only 40 at-bats? If they are good pinch hit at-bats, but they're pinch hit. I don't know. I'm just kind of curious. And it feels like with the flurry of moves, I think AJ, and this might be all me wearing my tin cap conspiracy hat crazy nonsense. So I look forward, if you've got a take on this, let me know. I'm down to talk anything, but I don't think that this gets acquired by AJ without a plan for it to at least get a shot to compete in the lineup, given that you rounded out the lineup with a couple other pieces. But his ability to hit lefties and hit them well, as he's shown with the Padres, having a couple of big clutch moments, combined just with the overall need, like the Padres on any given night, they need a bat. We need people to play. I feel like AJ acquired with one mentality. Maybe Shildt got a second mentality about who he does or doesn't like. Maybe 1% or 99% of middle ground between that. But I get the vibe that something weird is happening here. That like we have this guy who it's like, why haven't we figured out if he's going to be a regular part of our lineup? He's good and he's too good to just be Matt Stairs. Like he's too good to just be a one hack, comes out and takes daddy hacks every third game to be like, oh, he's our little boost off the bench. Like I don't think that that's a proper usage of that assets. And then to have traded what we did for them, I don't know. Or maybe there's a longer term plan of they let Arraez go and they're telling O'Hearn like, hey, we'll sign you next year. Okay, let me know on any of that. What do you see here? Because if Arraez and O'Hearn were splitting at bats 50-50, I'd be like, great, we got competitive bats, but we've also got two guys who are going into free agency next year who we can both get a real good feel for how they are playing and for which one fits better into the system, and have tried to really given them both a shot of like, hey, like we're not like, I feel like O'Hearn would not want to sign with the Padres if the Padres were like, oh, we're choosing Luis Arraez. And then once he F's off with free agency, they're like, we'll give you the money. Like, you don't want to be anyone's second option. Maybe I'm completely wrong on all this. Maybe he was just the plan of having him be the pinch hit bat. I have been known to be quite wrong about stuff left and right. So, whatever. I was right about getting rid of Cease. That's a whole other thing. I will get off my soapbox there. But it feels like there's a disjointedness to what's going on. Or maybe I just want more at-bats from him. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment on any of this Ryan O'Hearn related, even into the talking about him versus Arraez and free agent, like any direction that you want to go with this. I just this was what has been on my mind to, again, rehab and distract from the fact that we have to play the Dodgers again. All right. Hang in there, Padres fans. Hit the subscribe button if you want. If not, no worries. Talk to you next time.